game. We're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Woo! You see this right here? How do you feel about today's game?
We better win, that's all I know.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott after last week's performance?
Dak Prescott has been very consistent with the division. He has took us back-to-back 12-5 seasons. You know what I mean? His winning record is above. You can say what you want about the past 7 years, but on our division, he has been owning it for years.
Are you a Dak rider or are you a Dak hater?
Before he broke his finger, I was a rider. Now, nah. They need to let him go now.
You know Dak Prescott's watching this right now, right? Actually follows the CanFan podcast.
Woo!
Let's go!
Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation, son! Let's go! Cowboys Nation represent! Cowboys Nation represent! Let's go! Get out of here!
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. All day, every day.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, Seattle.
Here we are at Lumen Field. And is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe. I don't know. I've casted a lot of Lumen spells.
Lumen videos.
We want to see Deuce represent. We want to see him repeat. I want some repeats. And I don't need 3 beats if they repeat.
I don't need 3 beats.
I don't need
if
3
they
beats.
repeat.
If they repeat. Let's go.
You don't think we're gonna make the postseason?
Maybe wild card.
So this is
Maybe wild card.
This is where I'm like, I'm good for a good ribbing, but like to say we're not gonna make the postseason, now I can't even argue with you because you've oh god.
You know it too. You know it.
Who's your quarterback?
This is our year.
Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes. Look at those dudes.
Let's go! Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation showing up!
Most pristine athletes in modern history playing in the NFL. Even the offensive linemen are incredibly athletic. I mean, these guys are over 300 pounds, and you know they can
Not only the size, but the speed of the linemen. Are you kidding
fly
me?
on the field.
You're telling me a guy that's 330 pounds meant to block a guy that's 290 pounds is faster than me, a sporty 240?
High 240. High 240. High 240.
I could beat any one of those guys right now, and I've drank a 6-pack.
What? You're wearing Crocs!
My 40 time is better than any of them.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
Erroneous.
Erroneous on all accounts!
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
How'd I do?
13-5.
Final quarter, here we go, baby! CD for the CD! And I'm going for 2. Woo! I don't know why my safety was just playing off so far.
Tackle him!
Yeah, well, I might be a boomer, but you sound like a pipsqueak. You don't even know how old I am.
No!
You little shit. You didn't win the game, I lost it!
Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to
Call
get
that a
open
throw?
in key situations.
I might be old, but at least I don't still piss my pants.
Protect you and your loved ones with Crackem VPN.
Ever heard the game Marry, Kill? Okay, like, yeah, I'm gonna give you 3 people, and you're gonna decide who will you marry, who will you who will you kill?
Okay.
Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and Tony Romo.
Marry Jerry. He's got all the monies. Probably Tony. Dak Prescott. Gotta kill him.
I'm a Romo.
She's gonna with Romo.
I'm gonna marry Dak.
She's gonna marry Dak.
I'm gonna kill Jones.
She's gonna kill Jerry Jones. Who will you marry? Kill between Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and then Tony Romo.
I'm out.
Jerry Jones, you.
So Jerry?
Jerry Jones, you.
Okay.
You.
Who will you marry, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo?
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
So that means you would kill Dak?
Yes.
Marry Dak, kill Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, poor Jerry.
Tony Romo.
Why not? He's probably one of the best commentators, announcers on the game right now.
Tony Romo? That's mine. That's mine.
Jerry Jones, right now. Right now.
You heard it here, guys. You heard it.
We need trash can.
Oh, here we go.
AJ, you have to sleep in this for the night. Yep. Football we already got. AJ's trying to take a piss right now. Trash can.
Stickers.
Stickers.
Couple stickies.
Couple stickies?
Yes.
So we got a trash can. We're gonna go test it out in the toy aisle.
You're not getting it first try. He's not getting it. Give these guys a shot. They'll win a jersey if they get it. Oh, none of us made it. Come on, Dad. You get a free Cowboys jersey if you get it. None of us have made it. Dad's going for a shot. Come on, let's get it. Oh, that was the closest one.
Felt like the closest.
Bro? Yeah. We all missed it, so don't worry about it. We missed it. You guys going to the game tomorrow? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Us too.
Not only are we giving away 3 jerseys for whoever can toss a football into that can, we're also going to be leaving the can so someone can take that home too.
Look, there's still practicing. Always right set.
Super Bowl!
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
Game day, baby.
Game day, baby! Woo!
Kickoff's a month away.
Yeah, but we gotta get our reps in.
Yeah, they train, we train. Crack 'em, bro.
No, it's 7:30 and it's a Wednesday.
Road pop?
Oh! No, I'm going to work and I'm driving. Get out of my car.
Cowboys, you got him.
Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl!
Let's get it. Guys, can we just get one? I mean,
Let's just get one. Doing the mojo moment. We got Dak Prescott in there. What they do is they're running one play, and then right after they just kick a field goal. TP20 to the
out
outside.
to the left, gets tackled
Swallowed
behind the
up.
line by Micah. Micah and his gang.
The linebacker.
The linebacker gets
So they're going to
tackled.
come back out. Again, it's going to be Aubrey. He missed his first field goal
Was it
attempt.
short or left?
Aubrey missed left. Let's see if he can put it through this time. It is
Short!
short.
What the f?
Over 3.
That was like a 50-yard field goal.
Oh, was it?
That was a 50-yard attempt.
Yeah, but it needed to be 54 yards.
I mean,
that's over
you
3.
still, you gotta at least get the distance.
Go for 2
You know,
next
get the
time.
distance.
Just go for the first down conversion. Kicking is still a big problem.
Yeah, you're gonna run into those, and it's the distance though. Accuracy, okay, you can miss that from 50. I'll give you that. But if you're not hitting it, if you're not kicking it 50 yards,
So the issue right now, that was the third mojo moment and the third missed field goal attempt. We're gonna run out here, and TV Tristan Viscano is gonna go for his second attempt.
you gotta go through all the motions, okay?
Yeah. So what they're doing, they're running the kicking team off. They're practicing in a last-minute situation, having the kicking team try to get out there in time to kick a game winner. There's been no game winners kicked yet.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Here it is, though.
Let's go, Tristan! Come on!
Here we go.
This would be like a 50-yard
He's
field goal.
He's hitting this. He's hitting this. Yeah,
What
they're-
practice is for? Make your mistakes and then correct them.
He's gonna crank this one. He's gonna boot it, and that one is
Far left,
wide.
far left!
Wide left.
Distance. It's got the distance.
I mean, I don't even know why I'm surprised anymore. Yeah.
So we just lost 4 games on game-winning kicks.
Crosby's available, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Got to get someone. So yeah, he spikes it. Let's get
bring
Aubrey
Aubrey back out.
Aubrey out for hopefully his first made field goal. 1. Here it is. Let's get it.
Guys, can we just get one? I mean,
Let's just get one. Come on, Obs. That's been a minute.
Lord have mercy on us.
That has been a minute, baby. Yeah, baby. The Sunday service. That hits nice, especially on this first non-football Sunday of the 2025 year. This hits nice. It makes me feel, I was kind of sad. I was feeling a little mad because we didn't have any football to watch. But the Sunday service song brings that.
Sunday service.
Brings us back to the light. It brings us back to the light, baby.
Cowboys, what you gonna do after you crack them if you got them?
Crack me. I thought the best way to stop Adam from singing was to crack one.
Hey.
You know what? It doesn't work. But you know what, Ad? This one's for you.
Crack him if you got him.
You got him.
Fucking kill me.
And shout out to that drip, baby.
Double R drip.
Yeah,
What do I got to here?
D-double-R-I-P.
Pink lemonade. And here's the thing. I don't really even care
Crack 'em if
what
you
I
got
grab.
'em.
Crack them if you got them. I
Not a
don't care.
pineapple.
I don't care what I grab. I like all the flavors. Although my favorite, I believe, is that
Mango.
I think I'm a pineapple guy.
The black cherry or the cold
Dark cherry.
Really?
Dark cherry is my favorite
So
too.
we all have different taste buds. I'm a
No, no.
pineapple. I think I'm a pineapple guy.
Bandwagon boys are dark cherry.
We're dark cherry boys. We always have been boys.
Hey, you know what they say? Darker the cherry, sweeter the drip.
Is that true?
Well,
Is that a real saying?
well, we're trying to get it started.
Hey, I'm trying to, never stop trying me.
It's all about pushing the sayings. You say something enough times, it will catch on.
Anth, you're in studio, bro.
I'm in studio. It feels good. I don't feel like I'm held hostage for when I'm in that hotel room. It feels like I'm being broadcasted you guys to send money to save me. So
Yeah.
I have that. I have one of those. Tay has one of those little tiny little, what are they called? Ring lights.
Yep.
So I have that just on a TV. It's so my setup's so ghetto looking. But
Take a picture
I'll
next
take
time.
a picture next time. It feels good to be in studio. It's always just a little nicer to be in studio.
Out of studio, Ant, we need to have a photo of what your setup looks like every time.
It should be, you should have a side by side just so I'll have a picture of me from the side so it always looks like it's a video of it.
Yeah.
But it's just the two.
Well, because even if it was a video, you'd probably be just sitting there like this the whole time.
Yeah,
Why don't-
totally.
Why don't we just force Riker to sit there and you AI generate Ant's image over
Hey,
it?
I absolutely thought about it.
Green screen it in. Green screen me in.
Green screen answer. Actually, I'll take a photo of your seat there, and then when you're out of studio, you could put the seat behind you.
That would be funny.
We can try it on the video ninja.
I don't mind just having the.
You just want me to say the Liam Neeson taken quote from you.
Yeah.
This is very important.
Exactly.
You're about to be taken.
Yeah, it's hey man, I'm OOO but today I'm in studio at Bandwagon Boys. How you feeling? First Sunday without NFL football, and yeah, I guess the Pro Bowl or whatever the hell that game is, the flag football game, it still was football on the Sunday before the Super Bowl. So how's it feel? The first official non-football Sunday until August.
I love it. I'm ready to rock the Sunday services. Actually, probably my favorite segment, the Sunday service. I don't know if it's the song. I don't know if it's the cloud theme that we have.
I was going to rebrand that Sunday service until I brought it back up and the vibe was still there. I was like,
you can't rebrand the Sunday service.
I've been liking Alex's backdrop that he's been doing on a couple of the thumbnails.
Me too.
I'm usually not an Alex Johnson design fan, but I do like his design.
Me neither. Me neither, man.
But sometimes he puts out a design I'm like, I actually like it.
I'm not. I basically look at things and try to copy them, and I obviously look at the wrong thing to copy most of the time. But hey, I'm happy to nail it. I think I like that background too. And
we're back. Sunday service.
back!
It's predominantly going to be.
We are back.
It's going to be focused predominantly on free agents and the draft because essentially that's the biggest thing happening in the NFL for the next foreseeable future. So the Cowboys are going to need a lot of free agents if they want to compete, and they sure as hell are going to have to draft very well. So we're really going to dive into this year. It's a nice side quest to our Wednesday night main event where we do our mock drafts.
So here's the odd thing. Unless you had something to say there, Ad.
No, I was just going to say, and a big shout out to Chat for rocking us with the Sunday service.
Oh, yes.
Ultra Cowboys made an appearance. He's already...
Ultra!
I know, Ultra Cowboys in there.
You Puerto Rican son of a bitch, you.
He's here.
Yeah, he knows the assignment. He's yelling out Amari in Hampton right now.
Yep.
So yeah, we're looking forward to chat. Make sure you're shouting out all your feels. We'll get to you when we can.
Yeah, strictly running backs today.
Yeah,
We're going to be
strictly
talking.
running backs.
We're going to be talking running backs. But here's the thing, guys, and I don't know what's going on, but it must just be grasping at straws. And the Cowboys are one of the biggest ones. There's 7 news stories here
Holy
that
shit.
I think would all be interesting for us to talk about. I think we picked 2.
Yeah, whatever you think. Whatever
Okay.
you think the biggest are, we'll just do. Yeah, I love it. Because at the end of the day, this is a Cowboys podcast. Sorry, show.
Is it?
Cowboys show. And we need to still, I like that we have the 2 shows a week so that we can still kind of hit the relevant
sure.
stuff when it's relevant. So
Yeah.
I think it's fitting that we still touch on some of the articles.
I'm going to read you the headlines. Don't say anything while I go through, but just if one pops out to you,
Okay.
or maybe if one pops out to you, just say it, and I'll keep rolling through.
This one, I like the one we're talking about right now.
Dallas Cowboys
Yeah,
trade.
good. Go.
So this is a mock draft. Sports Illustrated. Dallas Cowboys trade back. Get help in the trenches. 7-round mock draft. 5 Cowboys who should see reduced roles in 2025. A thrilling plot twist in Cowboy saga. Rico Dowdle's potential exit. ESPN analysts predict Dallas Cowboys shocking Super Bowl 60 victory.
I got to go with the Rico Dowdle one just because it's fitting for.
I agree.
Fitting for what we're doing today.
Absolutely. And I think I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate these are going to be. The website's motocislismo.
Oh, sounds legit.
So we'll see.
Sounds,
but hey, dude might be a fucking great writer.
Totally. Just because he's not mainstream doesn't mean he's hogwash.
Last 3, sorry. Way too early 2025 predictions for the Cowboys, Texans Super Bowl. 3 bargain NFL free agents Cowboys should consider. And the jury is in. Cowboys made a huge mistake letting Kellen Moore get away.
Well, we don't need the Kellen Moore one's not that big of a deal.
What do you got? Man,
I like Rico.
I like the Rico one. I like the free agent ones, but I also liked the there was one other one just before the Rico one that I didn't.
Wait, right before Rico was 5 Cowboys who see reduced roles.
I kind of like that one too, just to see, because with the situation that the Cowboys are going to be going into with all these free agents, it's like if anyone had a big role last year, how could they get a diminished role? Unless they're gonna be talking about guys that had a lot of playing time because of injuries, is my guess. But what do you guys think? Those are the 2 that I don't mind.
Let's see how long they are, and then we might be able to sneak that 3rd one in. But we're definitely going to go here right now with Rico Dowdle. A thrilling plot twist in Cowboy saga. Rico Dowdle's potential exit opens the door for a blockbuster trade for Jets underutilized Dynamo. Breece Hall.
I mean, if we traded for Breece Hall, dude, I would. There goes needing to draft a running back in the 1st round.
And without really any context of this, I guess the only context being this headline, this clickbait headline, which got us in. Would you put a trade together or let Rico? We can't trade Rico. Would you ignore Rico?
What would you trade? What would you trade for Breece Hall? I ain't giving up the 12th overall pick.
No,
hell no.
That's for damn sure. The running back classes we've all been looking at, right? In preparation to the show, is pretty stacked. I'd be hard pressed to give up more than a 3rd for Breece Hall.
I'd give a 3rd
in a second. I would give a 3rd in a second. I ain't 3rd in a second, not 3rd and a second. I ain't going any higher than a 3rd though.
No,
even as good as he's been, and he's a quality NFL player, but I don't know if I'm giving up a 2nd and definitely not giving up a 1st.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, a 2nd, I would be, it depends on what else you would get back. Like, if you get Breece Hall for a 2nd, I think if you give a 3rd, you might have to give something else.
The only way I would give up a 2nd is if the Cowboys and Jets swapped 2nds.
Well, what's their
a pick swap and
a pick swap, and then maybe a 3rd?
Sure.
What's their position on?
Well, they're top 10. They're top 10 in the 1st round, so they're going to be like picking in 30 or either late 30s or early 40s.
So this is what the article has to say. I'll summarize it as quickly as I can. Basically, it's a pivotal moment for the Cowboys and the running back position. We've underperformed, and we have Rico Dowdle, who is right now our starting running back, 1,000 yards. We all know the deal. He's going to be hitting free agency.
First undrafted player in Cowboys history to rush for 1,000 yards.
That's pretty awesome. And we did talk about
Rico, that is.
Who was it with? Was it with Cowboys Chris or Barry Grant Jr., where we were talking about the value. I think Barry asked us the value of what Rico might get on the free market here. And I think
we all figured, I think it was what, 6, 7? 6, 7? We were kind of
I think if the Cowboys want him for 6 or 7, which to me makes sense if you're going to go get a rookie, because you can, I always like to just say, how much money am I going to put into that running back position? I'll split that between these two guys, and who cares if I'm overpaying one, but the total is fine. But that being said, I think anyone else in the NFL would be willing to pay him $1 million more than the Cowboys per year.
Yeah,
I just think.
I couldn't agree more. And then as far as letting him go, if the only way I think the Cowboys let Rico go is if they're going to draft his replacement or trade, like they're talking about here.
Exactly. So they're talking about, obviously, we all know who Breece Hall is. There could be a blockbuster trade here with the Jets.
And the Jets they drafted Braylon Allen, the big dog, in the 4th round last year. Maybe the Jets, if they did something like this, they're seeing another speedy guy that they could get in the draft, maybe in the 3rd or 4th round, right? To pair with Braylon Allen, who they can expect to take on a bigger role if they traded Breece Hall.
That's the thing, but Breece Hall's only 23.
Which I like.
They got him 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so,
a couple of years, yeah.
Or potentially 3. That doesn't matter. He's still a young dude in his first-year contract. They might already feel like, hey, we already have that combination. But I want to see what the actual trade they think would be here. So
do they even touch on what you'd have to trade?
They're fucking trade baiting. They're clickbaiting you with this title.
They don't even give you what they
Hey,
think.
come on.
Okay.
Mock them as Santa Mio.
Not blaming you, Anth, for picking this article because because it was clickbaity. He got what he wanted out of us. I feel like a dirty slut.
Were you guys expecting to see? Maybe there is. Go down just past. No.
Well, and we stayed on here so long too that we're helping their algo a bit.
Get out of here!
Because all it says, the decision to potentially part ways with Rico Dowdle in favor of Hall signifies a strategic shift in Dallas. But what the hell would Dallas have to give up?
I know there's no.
This article would have been perfect. Just give us your scenario.
Exactly. This was a really good article.
I got blue balls from this article.
And look, it deserves only 2 views. You bastard! Who wrote this? Where are you?
By no one. Go back to the top. Go to the top.
It's no one. It's AI generated.
Bastard.
Okay, well, you know what?
Okay, hey, take this.
Yep.
Let's go to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
And give us a theoretical trade for Breece Hall to the Dallas Cowboys. Will it do that?
Let me see.
I'll get off of it so I'm not doxing your Chat GPT.
Hey, AJ's got some weird shit on his Chat.
I always go to the wrong one. Chat.
No, you're right.
GPT. I always go to GTP and it's a fake. It's a fake.
So in a theoretical.
Yeah, I'll write it in a second. I'm just gonna log in.
Okay.
Log into there, kiddo.
Make sure I save this.
I think there's a couple of like actual NFL GPTs that have it a bit better, like a bit better responses.
They might not be able to give us anything here.
No, it should give us something. But it might also be theoretical.
So in a theoretical trade between the Dallas Cowboys and New York Jets.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up now.
What
would make sense?
Would the Dallas Cowboys have to trade to acquire running back Breece Hall in the 2025 draft?
You spell Breece?
EECE. And then Hall.
Breece Hall.
Or before the 2025 NFL draft. Yeah, we're doing it, baby. Live on the
Hang
air.
on, I'm just gonna prompt it. You are a NFL trade analyst expert.
Yeah.
There, I like it.
With 30 years experience.
With 30 years experience.
Yeah.
And a big old boner.
Which doesn't seem like a lot of experience in coming to the NFL.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what he got. Okay. Oh, they're giving us some good stuff here.
Slow down, big stud.
Stop it. Oh, I have that one. Where is it here?
Okay, here we go. So let's just quickly.
Don't stop, big stud.
Hate it. I hate it. Cowboys received Breece Hall. Jets received 2025 first round pick, 2026 third round pick.
And you know what? I think that's actually maybe the first round. I think he's worth a first round.
Just not 12. Just not 12.
Not 12.
If the Cowboys had like the 26th pick or something, but they made a lot of good points. I've kind of briefly read that Breece Hall's value. He's still young. The Cowboys need a running back, and the Jets stance on trading him. They know that he's a stud player, right? So
yeah,
he maybe
and no more Aaron Rodgers in in New York.
But if I'm also the Jets, I'm a new administration. I don't have Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying to secure as many picks for this next run, right? Like Breece Hall's not your guy. You didn't bring Breece Hall in.
Let me flip this at you real quick.
Okay, flip it.
I'm Jets. I don't like
Jets, Jets.
I don't like the quarterbacks in this year's draft. I want next year's first-round draft pick for Breece Hall.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that they wouldn't do it with the Cowboys necessarily because the Cowboys theoretically, even if they tanked, even if they have a bad season.
Yeah, but I'm the Jets.
But what about
I'm just getting a top 15 round.
Hear me though. What if you said, because say Cowboys, well, there's no way we're giving you a first round pick. Okay, a second round from next year. You could turn in those 2 second rounds that you have
for a first.
Get into a first, right?
Sure. I think like if I was the Jets, I'd look at that. I'd probably want a little bit more than just the 1 second. So maybe this year give me. Fuck, now I want the third.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but in this situation, I think the Jets, if you're the new administration, you got a burner in Breece Hall and you got a bruiser in Braylon Allen. So I'm not trading either of them. They're both on their rookie deals.
Yeah,
you come in and you build your team around Breece Hall. Sure, you don't get a quarterback because it's not too crazy quarterback class this year. You draft an offensive lineman with your top 10 pick.
Yep.
You play for basically the quarterback for next year.
We're not.
Talk to me, Daddy. Talk to me, Daddy. Talk me off.
Jets CanFan?
We're not talking.
Or sorry, we wouldn't be Jets can. Oh no, we would be Jets can.
We're not talking about wide receivers, but Ultra says he would give up a 12 for Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Garrett Wilson is a stud, probably on par with the best wide receivers that you're going to get in this year's draft. So
okay. Next up here, we'll do was it the 3 bargain NFL free agents?
No, the 5 that are slipping.
Oh, yes. The 5 that are slipping. Let's have a look at these.
They're going to lose some time.
This is specific about Cowboys. I like it. And then after this, we will be moving on to our running back
positional group
here. So these are 5 Cowboys who should see.
What are your fucking websites that this is myhighplains.com?
I literally typed in Dallas Cowboys. And this is what came up. And this is what's fun about the internet.
Is this DuckDuckGo?
It's actually, it is Sports Illustrated.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Even though it's my high.
By Randy Gurzy, which I swear I've heard that name before.
Yeah, I think Gurzys are.
I've heard that name.
One of our Dallas Cowboys boys.
It's better than by blank.
Yeah. Yeah, Gurzy, we've done articles with Gurzy before. So he's been on our show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gurzy's been on our show. Yeah. Fucking A, Gurzy. Well, we're reading your shit right now, bro.
We didn't mean to make fun of the website you're ready for. Like,
no,
I think Sports Illustrated. Who's ever heard of that?
I think they just took it from Sports Illustrated and put it on there. So
possibly.
But here we are with our boy Randy Gurzy, our good friend.
Friend of the
show. 5 Cowboys who should see reduced roles in 2025 NFL season. Before we start, pick one
each
that you think is going to be on this list. And I'll go first. I think it's going to be who should see reduced roles. Oh man, that is tough.
I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say Jalen Tolbert. Because he's right there up in the image.
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay,
smart.
Smart pick.
You fucking
smart pick.
You son of a bitch.
This is really tough.
He used his eyeballs.
The reason this is tough is because we don't have enough players to fill out a roster.
Well, and we might think I might say a name, and they might technically not even be on the team next year. But I'm gonna go with Mozzie Smith.
Okay, like that pick.
That's a good one. Yeah. Tolbert and Smith, those are good picks.
And then who played a lot but shouldn't have?
You got to think defensive ends.
Yeah.
Then you try to think of the defensive ends that were playing, and you can't even think, and you're like, well, are they even going to be on the team next year?
Well, I guess I'm going to say Hoffman just for the fact that I would hope that we bring someone in to replace.
That's a good pick.
Martin.
I think Brock Hoffman's a good pick.
I love Brock Hoffman. I actually want to see him succeed, but based off the question, that's what I'm.
And then just a side tour here, if you guys could pick someone that you would want to see take less snaps, who would it be? Like just as a personal vendetta against them. And you have a very good chance that the player you're going to say is a free agent anyways, but that's okay.
Tolbert.
Yeah.
Tolbert's a good one.
I just want to see something else.
Terrence Steele for me.
Oh yeah, Terrence
yep.
Steele's a good one.
Tyler Guyton, even like I know he was just our first round pick last year, but man, was he bad. So let's see who Gursey's got up in this. Mozzie Smith. There's my guy. Booshed it. I mean, which I shouldn't be happy about, but we were never sold. CanFan, this room, we sat here when this motherfucker was drafted. We all hated the draft pick, and we got attacked. I'll say it. We got attacked by Cowboys Nation saying we were basically dumb.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like
they call us misogynists.
We also hated the Tyler Guyton pick when it first happened.
Yeah.
So
And Guyton is still TBD. We got to see how he does.
Still TBD, but I just feel like we're in a same situation as we were with Mozzie. We were like tricked into liking the pick, dealt with him for the whole first year. Then we're like, okay, well, he's going into his second year. Let's get him benefit of doubt. And then it was just more of the same in his second year.
So two comments from chat on Mozzie Smith and Tyler Guyton. Jenkins Gaming says Mozzie's the only defensive tackle we got though.
True.
Okay. Which but if
don't bring up facts, bro.
That just sucks.
There's last year only
21
defensive tackles were invited to the combine, and 40 have been invited for this year's combine.
So double. So it's deep.
So hopefully we see some. I mean, we haven't really taken a lot of. I haven't taken a lot of defensive tackles in the mocks. We didn't take a lot of defensive tackles, but
I think we're all scared.
I think we are all very scared.
I think we're all gun shy to take a defensive tackle.
And then Ultra says Guyton was penalties. He'll take the biggest jump next year.
I hope so. I hope you're right, Ultra.
Yeah.
I really do.
You're Ultra's right. And if that Guyton can just correct those things that are causing the penalties, he's going to be moving up. I don't know. He's got at least 5 spots on the rankings and maybe even more.
He's got all the athletic attributes you need to be an NFL starter at tackle.
Yeah, I don't abandon.
That's good.
I'm ready to abandon Mozzie Smith.
Yeah.
Today.
Same.
Tyler Guyton, I got to run him another year.
You got to run it back with Guyton.
Guyton had the best feet in the draft. He will be a star. Keep the receipt. So
a lot of
we're
people
holding that receipt from Ultra.
A lot of people did say that Guyton's first year was going to be a wash. They really did. Which I hate to say it when we're drafting a guy, but you are drafting at the end of the first round. So there was I think 8 tackles taken ahead of him.
Oh yeah.
So you were just kind of going, but who knows? The jury is still out on Guyton.
Dustin Roberts said Mozzie had improvement. Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him.
Wasn't sorry, real quick before we talk about I don't think Mozzie had enough improvement, but Guyton wasn't he right tackle
in college? Yes.
Okay, so I mean,
played left and he only played he was a tight end before, so he played very limited in college, and then he switched to left tackle in the pros. So there's going to be you're playing the best of the best of the best, and he started off remember we went through the first 5 teams that he played against. Every team had a very good edge rusher.
Well,
which is, I guess, the NFL.
And what I do love about what the Cowboys have done this offseason, and at this point, in terms of a change, is a lot of new staff. So it's going to give them all a chance. Maybe
new O-line coach,
better. Maybe he's going to be better. I don't know. This is the thing about
new offensive coordinator.
We're slowly digging deep. We're kind of like I don't know, dwarves digging in that mountain, just getting deeper and deeper as we unlock new things that we're going to start researching more and more.
We're like the guy in Memento. We work backwards.
We
reverse, but we reverse engineer everything.
I think we're always so focused on who is the coach, who's the offensive coordinator, who's the defensive coordinator, and obviously those guys probably bring the best with them. But if we're worried about offensive line, I didn't know anything about the offensive line coach for Dallas last year.
Because every year we take that much of a bigger jump in terms of
now we're coordinator boys. Boots actually sent Ad and I, or he might have sent it to me.
He sent it to me. He sent it to me too.
We should get that cheat sheet. Yeah,
I'll send it to Wage.
He had his wiener wrapped in a sheet that had all the Dallas Cowboys coaches, just a little just like a little cheat sheet.
No, that's awesome. And that's. I think that's the next step for us is caring more about these coaches and understanding what
assistants and positional guys. So Mozzie Smith, I called him. That was my call out. Jonathan Mingo, okay.
Jonathan Mingo barely saw any time last year.
I don't know. That's going to be can he lose snaps?
Let's see. Can I read a little bit here?
Yeah, read it, because I don't know much about this one.
Jerry Jones was thrilled to land Jonathan Mingo at the trade deadline. Jonathan Mingo! The rest of the world wondering why he was thinking, what he was thinking. Mingo did nothing to help his case as he recorded 5 receptions on 16 targets. Oh my God, that's dog shit. And 46 yards.
How do you regress on that?
31.3. I don't know. In 2025, Dallas would be better served giving Mingo's snaps to someone such as Ryan Flournoy, who had twice as many receptions as Mingo. The 6th round pick caught 10 of 14 passes, referring to Flournoy, for 102 yards. He deserves snaps. So I guess his argument here, which I definitely agree with, is instead of wasting passes on Mingo, let's go to Flournoy.
Guy that you drafted.
I do like Mingo's size, and I wonder if they can find a way to utilize him properly.
Give him Dak throwing him the ball?
Look, if he's only good in short distance or medium or deep, whatever it might be, then let's just do plays where that's where he will attempt to be open on the and maybe he's a 2nd or 3rd option. Who gives a shit? But
this one's a tough sell for me. I think it was a tough sell because I just feel like it's hard to regress on 16 targets. You basically have to be a healthy scratch, like not even in the game.
I can't see them regressing on Jonathan Mingo when they've given Tolbert so much time to like try to develop. Like Mingo had half of a season, right? Like when
he just walked in, and it's a wash last season, whatever he did, in my opinion. And personally, I actually want to move him to the front of the line of seeing what he's got. And if he shows any sign of goodness, it's like, okay. But if he's not, then he doesn't get to keep that spot, right?
Yeah.
But I like work him so we can see what the fuck he can do in Dallas. And if he is just like a sub-mediocre player, then so be it. Shitty trade, Jerry.
Yeah, Deuce Vaughn, again, another guy that I don't even think should be on the team that next year. Like, I just...
Well, only because we need to fill roster spots, I guess. That's the only
like, he's
reason.
defaulted on the team. I don't think you're going to be able to get enough guys to keep him. But if you draft a running back and re-sign Rico, like, where's Deuce fitting in here? And I know there's, again, a guy that same draft as the Zamazzi Smith draft. We didn't like the Deuce Vaughn pick. AJ hated it. And AJ's been proven very right so far with Deuce Vaughn.
Look, he's had a few glimmers, and I think that there is some potential here with a new OC and coaching staff to utilize him in a different way. You've got him and Turpin, who I think kind of fill the similar role in what they can do with what. But I also like the idea of maybe having 2 of those guys, 2 of them back in the running back position, and you're playing a pistol type of form. And that could be fun, you know? So I don't hate Deuce Vaughn as much as I did when we first drafted him, because he's shown, okay, he can make some of these plays. But in terms of keeping a roster spot, I'm looking to replace him.
But he might just be defaulted on the team.
Well, exactly.
The only thing I'm remembering Deuce Vaughn from is the last game of the year where I bet on Rico Dowdle with 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, Rico Dowdle had Deuce Vaughn had 35 yards and Rico needed 85 yards, got 79 while Deuce had 30. So that's all I'm remembering from last season. You parlay busting fuck.
Yeah. At the end of the day, absolutely reduce his role. Adam? You love Deuce Vaughn. You've always been a Deuce rider. You've been a Deucer since day one, dude.
I deuce it all
just
the
likes
time.
tossing him around.
I like tossing the deuce around.
Next up, Jalen Tolbert. There he is. We knew it was happening. And I think we can agree the reason being, like, we got him either, like, we know what he is, and he's not, I don't mind him on the team, but he's not a number 2. We got to find that number 2.
Definitely isn't. But so they have 2 wide receivers on this list, Jalen Tolbert and Jonathan Mingo. Who's taking those snaps right now?
Brandon Cooks.
Well, Cooks
on the team. Yeah, well,
that's what I mean.
Cooks is.
You have Flournoy.
Isn't Cooks a free agent?
I want to say he is. So who's taking these? Who's getting these extra snaps if these guys are losing them? Especially these guys didn't have a lot of snaps in the first place.
The fake wide receiver that we're taking in free agency and the fake wide receiver that we're going to be drafting in the upper rounds.
Yeah. So Cooks is a free agent now, and here's the thing: does that change your thoughts on
Cowboys got to go wide receiver in top 3. They have to.
And running back. We don't have a running back.
Well, you need a running.
Technically,
you need so much.
Our running back is Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, I think right now we've kind of talked, and we're going to get more into this as we talk draft. But I think We almost need to have a running back and a wide receiver in the top 3 picks.
Yes.
Almost every time.
We have to do that. And we've talked about the reasons why I think offense deserves just the look this year. Make it robust so that we can have some fun moments in football.
Yeah, just if you're gonna lose by
lose
a
by 3, lose
shootout,
by 7,
not blown out.
Ultra Cowboy says Junior Adams will develop one of the 3 in Mingo, Flanoy, or Tolbert. He was a great hire for the coaching staff. He said Tolbert had a good year. Go look at his stats. They just need a good wide receiver too. Which again,
Agreed.
Agreed. What we said.
Yeah.
Tolbert's not that 2.
Tolbert's not the 2.
Tolbert's not a 2.
He's not.
But they fucking treated him like a 1 in some games, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that happens. Sometimes your 2 or 3 will be the number 1 just because of coverage. But
AJ hates
I don't like this
one.
I don't like this. But if you don't mind, I do want to read why, because I'm gonna. I don't want to scream at our boy Randy, but
you want to rebuke
piss me off. So he says the Dallas Cowboys secondary could look vastly different under Matt Eberflus.
Elberfuss.
There's no L.
I know. I called him Elberfuss.
I know. That one I needed to hear someone say it. Eberflus.
Eberflus.
So this is the 3rd coordinator in 3 years, and he operates with more split safety looks than Quinn and Zimmer. Well,
sorry.
I see. You're right.
Don't fuck on him like that, eh?
I'm sorry. I fucked.
There you go.
I fucked on it. I fucked on and fucked off.
That could be bad for Malik Hooker, who is known for a single high coverage. It could also be an issue for Dono Dub, who is better served in the box. Even playing in that role, which we agree, and man, he has not been able to do that over the last 2 seasons for some reason. Even playing in that role, Wilson had a disappointing season in 2025. He also carries the 7th highest cap. His role won't be the same this season, and that cap hit could mean he's not even on the roster when week 1 rolls around. Okay.
Shots fired.
I don't like to hear it, but look, I am a little bit of a cap boy.
Yeah, you are.
I can understand.
Maybe you're Stephen Jones and I'm Jerry.
Cap casualty.
But just putting up my hands here, and yes, I'm Dono Dub biased.
You got his jersey.
We got a linebacker situation, and if Dono Dub is able to play a safety role where he can cover some of that run, he's probably more valuable than this article is letting on at this point. Could change in free agency.
I think they're really putting a lot to his cap hit where you can still.
It is true.
I think they're shifting. There's some magic they can do.
There's some magic. If you like him, re-sign him for another 2. Kick some fucking cans down the road.
You don't have enough people on the team for these 5 guys to all have diminished roles.
Well,
I just don't see it.
And you know what? Appreciate Randy Gurzy for going through the trouble of trying to squeeze that out, because he's probably thinking the same thing. Like, okay, we have 25 players on the roster right now.
Yeah. And I got to put a 5th of them as reduced play time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I would hope that all 5 of them actually take a step, but we'll see.
Well, hey, that's our news. We're not going to go into anything else, and now we got to talk about running backs.
Running backs, guys.
Running backs, y'all.
Would you say
running back, y'all?
Would you guys say that running back is one of the Cowboys' biggest needs going into the draft and free agency?
Yes.
I would say it's a top 3 round need.
Agreed. I think then the only reason I thought starting off with running back in our offseason series of positional groups is our first mock draft, we took a running back. We took GNT at 1, right? So I thought it'd also be fun to look through running backs in our first Sunday service of the year and really just crack down on what's out in the field if the Cowboys don't get GNT, because in my mind, I don't think they're going to. I think he's going to be gone before 12. So I'd like us to be really versed on who else is out there. And it's always fun to dive deep into some of these players and see how they end up doing once they get to the NFL.
Yeah, and that's the big fear right now that I think all Cowboys fans should have is do not hang your hat on GNT and then he's going to potentially be drafted in those first 11 picks. I can't see a team. Just think, there's 11 teams before the Cowboys picking. One of them is going to see what he did last year in the 2024 season for college football and say, we can't skip this dude.
Either I think a team, I agree with you. I think a team that already has maybe not depth at running back, but has like some other things on that offensive line or on that offense taken care of. I could see them going that. But because the draft class is so deep, you might see teams letting them go a little bit because they know they can get a dog in round 2, 3, or 4. We don't have a 4th round, so there's some guys in there that we just can't risk it up. But some guys could probably, some teams might come away with 2 stud running backs in like a round 2 and 3 or a round 2 and 4.
But and yes, that is true. That
Thank you.
There are a lot of good options in this draft for running back, but someone like teams who are seeing what the Eagles do, and other teams where it's like you got to go all in. If they have a running back already, it's not a reason not. It's
I agree.
Right? Like,
does he have more hype than Bijan Robinson? Yes. He had way better. It's sure wherever he played, who cares? Bijan played in Texas, played against a little bit better competition. Doesn't matter. No one else that's played in the last however many years had as quite a year like Gianti did. Bijan went 7th overall, man. Jamar Gibbs went 12th in the same draft.
Yeah.
So we're picking at 12. That draft, we would have got the second best running back. I'm just very hard pressed seeing this dude fall to 12. I would love it. And if he does, I think it's an automatic pull the trigger. You put that name in, Ashton Genty from Boise State instantly.
Yeah, you don't even fucking wait and consider. Don't just fucking.
But I'm nervous about it.
Well, we've talked about drafting the running back in the first 3 rounds.
I think you have to.
And I don't know that any of us disagree, and I haven't heard much complaints from chat. But I do like that Adam is selective and doesn't show us all of the hate.
Well, no, there's no hate.
Toss me one, son.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Double it up.
Again, sometimes I don't want to interrupt some talks when things are going on. A lot of people in chat are big Genty fans, but I feel like it's the same thing that Ant's saying. He might not be there, so I think they're looking at other possibilities. You know, Ultra Cowboy said if we give up a 3rd even and we walk away with Ibuku and Hampton in rounds 1 and 2, we've won the draft. So there's other situations where, because we're all in the same boat, we want a wide receiver, we want a running back. So whether we get Gianti in number 1 and then we go for a wide receiver in number 2, which it's hard to get those wide receivers in that number 2 spot, which is what we're seeing where we're actually drafting. So if Gianti's not there, then do you go for a stud receiver and then we fall down?
Well, let's just strictly running back talk here.
Yep, strictly running back talk. And I do like the question. If Gianti's not there, who's the
guy?
Who do we target? Who do we like? So I do like that. And that's kind of what this whole exercise is. Gianti's gone because all of us are taking him. We got him out of the way in our first mock draft
if he's
version
at 12,
1.0. He's
everyone
taken.
in your mom is taking him.
So for the sake of him not being there, as CanFan, I want to be prepared and I want to know what other running backs are out there. I'm looking at Omarion Hampton, who had a great season, but I'm feeling like he's kind of the Jahmyr Gibbs of this draft class where people are putting him late in the first round, but I think he's going to go higher than everybody else thinks. He's 6 foot, 220. His stats for the year were banging. And I think running backs starting to be, I think you're starting to see this shift back to a running game. And yeah, you can get this stud. There's a couple dudes that you can get later on in the rounds that have nice measurables, but this guy has it all. Omarion Hampton has it all. Guys, would you not love a 6 foot, 220-pound beast on your team?
Oh yeah, I would.
Crack him if you got him. And on my wage meter, which basically is just the height divided by the weight. It's really simple, but that's what it's a simple formula, but I just want to know. And
I think you need to do height divided by weight, and then you need something with the 40 time.
Okay, yeah. When we get it, then we're going to do that. But right now, the wage body rate for Omario Hampton is 0.84, 0.84, so lower is better.
Yeah.
The lowest is Taj Brooks at 0.77, meaning his height is lower and his weight is higher. And so it's like more pounds per inch, per centimeter, basically. Or inch, sure.
More body mass.
More body mass. So all that means to say is you don't want to be a one .00 because that means you're fucking as tall as you are.
But I want to hear on this meter because a guy like you, it's going to kind of take. So you're basing it all off
I'll show you.
all off of size because I don't think you can.
Yeah. This is like not your. When we get the 40, we'll bring that in from the combine.
Right.
We'll bring that in. So this will evolve, but this is just the 40. And where is Hampton? He's tied here at 0.84. So you can see he's not light. He's actually right in the average of where we see most running backs here with their height and weight ratio. And so there's no negative, there's no positive about his height, except for, he's what did you say it was? 230?
220.
220, yeah. So 220, that's a good enough weight.
And it's interesting because you look at where Omarion Hampton is on your scale here, and just in the PFF ranking, look what he's surrounded by.
I know.
He's a green, and he's surrounded by just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah. But it's about what he does in the field more so. And there's a few, speaking of Hampton, if you guys don't mind, got a few quick notes on him. So I did just a quick breakdown on a few stats that I like about running back. So I didn't really consider how many yards did you get in the season, how many attempts individually. These stats are like combined stats. So, for example, he's 5th in yards after contact per attempt, 4.4 yards. And my metric is as close to 4 yards as you can be. 3.5, okay, I'm okay with that. 3 yards, not super happy with that.
And that's yards after contact?
Yards after contact. And I'm thinking 3rd downs, 4th downs, when you need to make 3 yards, I'm looking for the guy who can make 4 yards. Right? And so 4.4 yard after contact per average.
Which is crazy.
Is awesome. He's also got the 11th ranked, which is pretty good. It's... Shit, what the fuck is MO? Hang on. Missed tackles missed tackles forced per attempt. Missed tackles forced per attempt. And why this is cool is because it means when you're one-on-one with the dude, and I watched a guy, I should give him a shout out, I will next week. But he came up with this idea, or maybe he was just using it and I liked it as well. But it's
yanked it.
It's when you're one-on-one.
Weird Al yanked it.
Yeah. But it's when you're one-on-one with a guy, no line, no O-line, no one blocking. How good are you? So the top was Ashton Giante with a 0.4. So we he's got
every 10 runs he misses a guy misses every fourth run.
Exactly. Yeah. So
4 out of 10 runs someone misses.
Yeah. So he's at about average at a 0.26. But the other great stats here are his receptions. He averages 1.39 yards per reception run, which is really good. 5th ranked out of the studs that I looked at. And receptions per game, 3.2. So he's going to be able to catch the football for you. He can run. And if Giante's not on the board,
take him.
I don't know. I take him because I don't think. Who knows?
Back.
Other teams might be looking high at him, but I wouldn't be mad if Cowboys took Hampton at 12.
At 12, just sealed the deal.
Just sealed the deal.
Or trade back.
Or trade back a couple spots to
get another pick.
Yep.
Get a pick in the 3rd.
I like the idea of trading back when you know that, okay, these other teams aren't going to get it, and then you get something else, and then you take that guy. Because the worst thing, I mean, look, if you're going to take him in the 1st anyways, and he's on your board, take him and be happy with it. But let's try to get some.
Well, at 12, there's going to be a lot of good guys. What I like about this dude, just looking at the NFLDraftBuzz.com, he has a 5.9 yards per carry, which is juicy, and 15 rushing touchdowns. So anything 15 and up for rushing touchdowns is great. And then that rush average right floating around 6 is pretty nice. Go back to your WAJ board here for a second.
Hell yeah.
Can I see where he was for the yards per attempt?
Of course you can.
Say no.
I want to see.
Say less.
I want to check it out.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
I like wages. We'll have to figure out
like the color-coded.
we can't necessarily see it fully there.
Okay. And there's another guy. There's another guy I really like up there. So Hampton's 14th down there at 5'9". There's some beast up there, man.
But like you said, this is based off of your competition, right? But if you're happy with 5'9", if you think that's good, and there's other metrics here, obviously green means good. Like Mario Hampton is almost green across the board. The only thing he doesn't do, he does average, is the missed tackles forced per attempt.
Right.
And, you know, sitting, but you got to consider everything else here. Adam, while I'm just going to correct this so you can actually see it. Okay.
I love it. This is juicy, man. Like these top, I like your board here. These top dudes here.
Yeah.
In this metric with Travion Henderson, Ashton Jeanty, Caleb Johnson, those guys are all very high up on the NFL Draft Buzz and the PFF, but they also have a breakaway rate, which 15 plus yards.
Yeah.
That is something juicy where Omari and Hampton's average at. So I like that stat there, but this is nice. This is a good little board you got going on here.
I had fun doing it. It helped me really understand these characters. The breakaway rate, by the way, is based off of like pure run plays. So it's not necessarily, a broken play or something like that, right? Or a kneel or something. So
no, that's good. I like that. And it really, because there was another dude I've been looking at a couple, because we were looking at some players. We did some homework here. Damian Martinez at 8 there.
Yeah.
I don't like his breakaway rate. I don't like it. That means he's kind of in like Cam Scattaboo, same thing. That's what guys are worried about. Has everything else nicely, but I want breakaway speed. I do want breakaway speed. So to see
for the first round, for a second or third for Scattaboo or Martinez, like I'm not saying, but based off their breakaway rate, okay. But if you're picking your first round pick, he's got to have everything.
He's got to be top there.
He's got to pretty much have a
right.
combo
Just not be a one stat pony, I guess you could say, right? So then I want to bring it up because Jenkins Gaming's been talking about him for almost 45 minutes. Dylan Sampson, he's saying Dylan Sampson is projected to do like a 4.2 in the combine. You don't have him on your board here. I want to know why is Dylan Sampson not on your board, and that's for Jenkins Gaming. I don't even think you didn't rate him, I don't think.
Go PFF rank. He'll be top. Just do PFF rank. Yeah,
I got Dylan Sampson right here.
He's right there.
Oh, you got him right there. Okay, but not for. So what's his measurables there?
He's a small dude.
Well,
Sampson's a speedster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant what was his breakaway there?
Pick Sampson. We'll talk about him. Okay.
Okay, he was red.
Well, and that's what I was kind of thinking.
His breakaway, he's not good.
Which is crazy because he's fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah.
He's going to be the fastest running back in the class. But it's interesting to see that he doesn't have the breakaway rate.
Hey, he might get to 14 yards consistently.
Yeah.
But he's just not hitting that. So if he does that, if he does 14 yards more than anyone in the NCAA, I don't have that stat, but obviously that would make this not really as big as a negative, right?
So let's go PFF rank and just decide. We've talked about Ashton Jeanty, obviously. You got your PFF rank there, AJ. You had the color-coded one.
Sorry, yeah.
We don't need PFF's fucking board. We want the WAJ meter.
The WAJ meter. So you got the PFF rank. So they're saying this is PFF's top 200 prospects.
Yeah, exactly. Almost 300.
Oh, top 300.
Some guys aren't, but they are ranked on Draft Buzz, and that's what's interesting.
It's interesting, yes.
So yeah, Almarion Hampton was my tier 1 dude. Do you want me to tell you my tier 2 dude?
Let's hear your tier 2.
Obviously, we're past Giante, okay? So
yeah, he's S tier.
Tier 2, I do love Cam Scattaboo. I wouldn't be mad about it.
I wouldn't either. But I don't think second round though, Cam Scattaboo.
This would be like second round dude. I'm actually going Caleb Johnson. I like Caleb Johnson. He's got a great WAJ ratio. Let me just pull up the WAJ body ratio. Let me just pull that up for you. Boosh. So Caleb Johnson, he's in that top 7. Or actually top 3. Or top 3.
Yeah, he's tied. He's tied with a bunch of other boys.
With top 3. So he's got a great he's like kind of the bowling ball where he's low to the ground but real heavy.
Yeah.
And so that works out well. He's 6 for yards per average, 6.4. 4th for yards after contact per average, 4.4 yards. Again, he's going to get you that first down. He's going to lean forward. Again, he's a little light on the missed tackles forced after attempt at only 0.28, but, he's getting there. But he has the top breakaway rate, 56%, and he's got the 8th.
He's a burner.
And he can also catch a football. He's got the 8th ranked reception yards per route run at 1.23. So
it almost looks like the AJ's body rate. The sweet spot is actually like an 83, 84.
Yeah,
like I think if you look at the 77s and the guys that are even low 80s, if you look at where they're going to get drafted or presumed to get drafted, it's almost a knock a little bit.
Yeah, it's look
like you look at the 84s here. You look at Quinshawn Judkins, Ollie Gordon, Cam Scatabo, and Devin Neal. Those guys are all top 200 prospects. Even Omarion Hampton. So this is interesting to see. I think 84, by the looks of it, for a productive running back for just based off of PFF and some of the other metrics,
right?
That's almost your sweet spot.
It seems to be a lot more of those name brand dudes in this area.
Just guys that PFF's thinking is going to go top 200. Because if you go to the top of the WayJ's body rate, you got a fucking 251. You got Taj Brooks is 188 on PFF. Damian Martinez, a guy that I was looking at today purely on size, 6 foot, 232. Has some nice stats. Yards per attempt, 6.3. Yards after contact's very nice also. But I think, and Cleo Mullings too, another guy that I looked at and really liked. I just think it's funny that it's a little bit like 80. I think you might have discovered something here, WayJ. WayJ's body rate, I think 84.84 is a sweet spot.
And you know what? Really, I think what you want to look on the body weight, because that's interesting, is you want to stay away from this. The 0.9s. These guys are really light. And I'm saying just for the bell cow type of round one that we'd be looking for, a receiving back, these guys would,
right?
You know, if they got reception, that's fine.
They would be a very nice
slot.
No, like a nice pair up. Like they'd be you got your lightning.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice lightning if you have your thunder already.
Exactly.
Plus, you could also have a return, like a returner on special teams if you get one of those light, fast guys.
Well, Travion Henderson. So some of the guys that I've been looking at, and I just want to say speed guys, Dylan Sampson, Travion Henderson, and Devin Neal are 3 guys that are kind of speed boys.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
And I like all 3.
I'd be happy with any of those guys, especially if they kept Rico Dowdle. If the Cowboys re-signed Rico Dowdle, I would love to have any of those 3, especially Travion Henderson.
So Devin Neal's an interesting one here. What shied me away from him was his missed tackles forced per attempt and his breakaway rate. Although he's getting real close to 40%, and once you're at 40%, you're kind of in that green zone, getting close to it. So that could be something that he could learn in the NFL. Otherwise, he has pretty much that 0.84 WayJ body ratio that you want. He's got a nice 3.7 yards after contact per attempt, so he's going to be able to lean forward and get that first down for you. And he's pretty decent on catching too. So it's really just what was the reason why he wasn't able to break away? And this is the thing that comes with understanding the football team. Did he have a shit offensive line? And so, he was getting hit by 2 guys. That could definitely, that would obviously affect this rate. But he's not far off. The only thing is he doesn't make a lot of misses in open field. Okay, how much do you weigh that? And he's on the cusp of being in that kind of great territory of breakaway rate for you. So I don't hate it. And if he's on the board and Henderson's not there, I'd pick Neal over Judkins.
Where are you? What round though?
Well, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this right now. We've looked. This is a very helpful visual concept. This is very handy, and I hope. I know.
We're going to do it moving forward.
I know it probably took you a while to do, but this is super helpful because I was looking only at a certain few guys. A couple of these guys' names I haven't even. Well, let me get that too. Crack them if you got them.
Crack them if you
got them. Sunday fun day. Am I right? Family day tomorrow in Canada. So.
Oh, is it?
It is. Monday's off tomorrow. Stat holiday.
It is okay.
Yeah, sweet. Let's get it. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna minimize this now.
Wouldn't have changed a thing.
We're gonna minimize this now.
Go back to
AJ. I know you've had some time to see these guys. I just want we'll go around round table here. 2 running backs. I'm gonna say can't be first round because I don't think the Cowboys, if they don't get Gente, I don't think they're gonna draft the running back in the first round. So just for this exercise, we're gonna say outside of the first round.
Yep.
And then so you need to pick a guy in day 2, which is second and third rounds, and then day 3, which is fourth to 7th rounds.
And you can feel free to look at my little.
Well, I know Ad's got a couple guys.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I have a late round pick. Do you want me to say?
Well, no, we're gonna start.
Right.
It goes in order. Ad instantly wants to get his late round pick here. We already know who. The late round pick is. I know who your late round pick is, but Ad did go. So, but AJ, you have put the most time into looking over these players. I want to know if you're sitting there at pick. What do the Cowboys have? 46. Pick 46. I want to say.
I thought it was 44, but
it might be 44 or 46. It's one or the other. It's here nor there, but it is. What pick do we have actually?
What?
Oh, Ad might be right. I think it is 44.
It's the 12th pick of the second round.
Yeah, yes, totally. Good. That's some easy math. 32 plus 12 is 44. Okay, so you're sitting there at pick 44. You didn't draft Ashton Genty with the first overall pick.
Yep.
Omarion Hampton went late in the first round. You're on the clock, and we're going running back. Who are you taking?
Well, if Travion Henderson's on the board, I'm taking him.
Second round, you're going to go Trey Day.
Yeah. First he's actually the first overall for average yards, 7.1. So he did beat out Giante by 0.1. Take that for what it's worth. Fourth for yards after contact per attempt, 4.4 yards. Fourth for breakaway rate, 54%, and Poppy liked that. And 10th for total receptions, so he can go out there and also catch the football. Didn't have great reception stats, but didn't have bad reception stats. So I feel like he would be the guy I'd go for. Asterisks on also RJ Harvey.
Whoa! You can't name it.
I'm just saying that's as much as I'm saying. You already
stole my second round pick.
That's it. No, that's as much as I'm saying. My only negative is he's 24 years old, and that's the only negative.
He's a burner, man. His Travion Henderson, his highlights, man. Pretty
can you
solid.
bring up the WAJ board so that and then just go with the PFF ranking there, just in case Anthony wants to.
No, I got someone.
You got
I got my guy.
I was more so saying for me, but
well, I know who you know who you're gonna go.
Yeah, this is
a layup for you. That's why I was gonna let you go next.
Okay, no, you go. You take your guy
because you know I'm not taking your guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say if I'm going to have to pick, Travion Henderson was going to be mine. I didn't think AJ was going to go with him because of his size. I'm also a size guy. Like, I'd rather go with your traditional, I'm going to say AJ's 0.84 size for a running back is kind of the size I'd like. But if Travion Henderson was gone, we're going to pretend in this situation for me he is. I think my guy would be Caleb Johnson. He's on the WAJ rate. He's a 0.81, so AJ likes that. He's a size guy. But he's also, dudes, he fucking killed it last year in college. 1,500 yards, which is no joke. You're splitting time, right?
Yeah.
He had 1,500 yards. He also had, they got rid of my stats here. Oh, here it is. Player stats, 1,500 yards and 21 touchdowns, baby. 21 touchdowns. 2024, he had 6.4 average, 21 touchdowns, 22 receptions for only 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. But that's a goal line back that the Cowboys are looking for.
I love it.
If the Cowboys are going away from Rico Dowdle, I think this is a guy that could step in and be that goal line back. He's pretty much like a Rico. He only has a 30.4% breakaway, he actually has a great breakaway rate.
He is the top. He's the first breakaway rate.
Even better than me.
Yeah.
Better for me. I love that.
My problem, Anth, with that is I think he's a day one pick.
You think he's gone? You think he's
so.
You think he's gone first round?
I think Giante goes and then he goes late.
You think late first?
That's my thought.
Okay, is that why you stayed away? Is that why you stayed away from him?
That's why I had him up in a day early day two.
Okay,
yeah.
So I have to pick him just because you took my guy.
But he could. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows what could happen? He could be a Cowboys pick.
He would be. I think he'd be a nice early round 2 pick. But if he's sitting there at 44, which is an early round 2 pick,
it is.
44 is an early round 2 pick, especially if 3 guys are gone before then.
You got to think
if Travion Henderson, Omarion Hampton, and Ashton Ginty are all gone, maybe the Cowboys do take a swing at him at 44.
Well, I wouldn't be mad with Johnson or Henderson, but you got to also consider this: every team after that first round goes through, there'll be a handful of them. Between us and the first round pick, the Titans, who are like, oh shit, this guy fell to us, and they're gonna take on their board. Like, I think round 2 are your more not BPAs, but like close within 3 players type of thing where it's like, oh, they let this guy drop, we got to take him. And he might not be the BPA, but he would be 3rd BPA or 2nd BPA, you know? So I think that's what happens in the 2nd round. And that's how you could see a guy like Johnson or Henderson be available for us. Because I think Hampton, it's going to be Jonte Hampton, and then potentially in the last 2 picks or early 2nd round would go Johnson.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. If the Cowboys keep Rico Dowdle, I wouldn't mind a guy like Dylan Sampson to kind of pair with Rico. You got that speedster. Now you got that 1-2 punch, right? Speed. You can't teach speed. The guy might end up being the fastest guy in the draft. So I also wouldn't hate that. I know I named 2 guys. I did that, but it's because it changes my draft strategy. Might
Dylan
change.
Sampson was going to be my guy.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. You son of a bitch.
You know I'm going to go Cam Scattaboo. I talked about, and this is only because Travion.
Little Scattaboo, yeah.
Travion would have been the pick.
All of us were going to go Travion.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's second round, right?
I was kind of hoping we'd get Travion in the 3rd, but he's fucking good.
I don't think he's going to be there in the 3rd. But so Cam Scattaboo, the things I like on WayJ's board that I just want to point out here, outside of Gianti, look at his yards after contact per attempt, 4.9. So he's close to what Gianti has, and then his missed tackles forced per attempt. Those are 2 things I think. Looking to like replace that same kind of production that Zeke would have had, having like a really dozer in that backfield, specifically if we're going to pair it with a faster back later on.
So do you think if they take a Cam Scattaboo in the 2nd round, they're going to also target maybe a running back in the 5th?
The thought,
a fast running back in the 5th or 6th or 7th.
The thought is Ashton Genty allows you to only pick 1 running back in this draft. If you don't get Gianti, then you got to draft 2. You got to double it up at some point in this draft. So if you're going to go for power, you got to go for speed. Is how I would see it.
See, I'm not against if they take Ashton Gianti to still not double down and take a guy.
Well, I'm just saying
in
it's
the 6th or 7th.
just not as like if you got a Gianti, you don't have to like stress. But I think if you got because some of these guys, you just don't know, right? I mean, I guess you could say that about Gianti as well. But the only problem with Cam Scattaboo.
Let's get a look at this guy too. Let's get a Cam Scattaboo NFL draft buzz.
The only problem with Cam Scattaboo is that the 49ers are drafting before us, like a spot before us, and I bet you they're going to draft him in the 2nd, and he won't be available. Yeah, look at Cam Scattaboo. Cam Scattaboo, you could see him. He grew up a 49ers fan. 49ers are drafting 11 and 43, and I think they're going to go double white, and they're going to have CMC and Cam Scattaboo.
Crazy. That'd be. I wonder when the last time that happened.
Yeah.
Double white running back.
I don't like it.
It's crazy. That seems like it's going to negative each other out. I will say this with Cam Scattaboo, and the cool thing about this year's college football playoffs. If it wouldn't have been a 12-team format, you would have never seen him get a go against a team like Texas, where he absolutely balled out. Took the game over, and you're like, okay, he's playing. Texas had some very nice defensive players, and Scattaboo held his own. He actually played very, very well. He's also a senior, so he's going to be up there in age. But, and again, you see that breakaway, that 15-yard breakaway percentage. He had a low score on that. But you're not drafting him per se to get an 80-yard touchdown. You're drafting him to get those 8 yards, those 6 yards, those then break off of 15, right? Like, he's there to be a battering ram.
Exactly. I think his low, if we look at his breakaway rate,
not great.
It's at 35%. It is on the lower compared to all these other players. But when you look at all of his other metrics and just like what you mentioned, like he's not going to get 15 yards, but maybe he's going to get 5 to 14.
Catches the ball nicely.
Catches the ball.
Catches the balls nicely. You saw him in a bunch. He threw, he caught, and he ran in that playoff game.
All touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Cam Scattaboo, I like.
Hey, and if he can help in the red zone. Which those things
absolutely.
do.
Now, technically, maybe he's maybe a little bit highly rated, like coming into this draft. Like,
well, there's vary between like his PFF rank is 46, but he's like, and he's ranked one of the top running backs in PFF. Draft Buzz has him, I think, the 8th or 9th running back. Yeah. So but he's still going to be somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah. He's either way you look at, he's top 10. His average rank between Draft Buzz and PFF is 5.5.
Which is still pretty damn good.
Yeah,
your fringe top 5.
Like I said, I don't think he's going to be there at 44. I think he's gone at 43.
You think that Niners are going to take
I think
him?
the Niners are going to take him. Niners have had way too many problems in the running back. They need a back.
And I don't know that their confidence in CMC might be like, we need to.
Got to be gone.
We got to replace him.
Yeah, that confidence, it was shattered this year, I think.
If Gianti is there at number 11, do you not think the 49ers are going to take Gianti?
Oh, fuck.
Shut up, Adam.
Yeah, why do you got to say shit like that?
Because then we get Scadaboo at number 2. Because they won't take him at number 2.
I do have a kind of an interesting pick, guys, because you asked for day 3 picks.
Yeah, day 3 picks, and it can be. This is a little tricky because it can't be a fourth rounder that you think.
No.
It's got to be a guy that's going to fall to the 5th.
And this is a dude.
Okay.
He did not actually play in 2024. He played 1 game. His name is Jackery Krosky Merritt, and I'm gonna have to actually look him up because he's not on draft buzz.
He's not under. He's a draft. He's ghosted.
He's Ghost Buzz.
Well, you know, so
Krosky Merritt, great name, last name. That's a lot to have on the back of a jersey.
Let's just bring this.
So he played for Arizona.
Played for Arizona.
And then what? Went to Ole Miss.
So this is what happened when he started. It was unclear. And you know, I could get the facts wrong, but this is what we're going with. When he started, it was unclear if he redshirted or played more than 4 games in his first college season. And so when he started this season, he had a great 2023 season. But when he started this season, he played 1 game, and then his eligibility became concerned, so they sat him for the rest of the year, unfortunately. So that's why it wasn't like drugs, alcohol.
Interesting.
Masturbating in public, anything like that. But let me just read to you what stood out to me. He had the 1 game in 2024 where he had 13 carries for 106 yards, 8.1 average, and 1 touchdown. Hard to say. It's 1 game. But his 2023 season compared to the 2024 class, he's 7th in rush average of 6.3 yards, 12th in yards after contact per average, 4.0 yards, 4th in missed tackles forced per average, 4.0 yards, and 11th in breakaway rate at 43%. So if he's sitting on the board, and most people, well, I shouldn't say most people, what I've read about this guy is he is looking to be an undrafted free agent. But if he's sitting there in the 5th, 6th, 7th round still.
You need to throw, even like, man, this guy, imagine you take Giante and you get him in the 7th.
Yeah, it was kind of like the same idea with Clark. Mind you, Clark was injured, but was projected to be a first-round pick. And I think if Krosky Merritt obviously was able to keep his average ratio of 8.1, which is not sustainable. Let's say he even got 6 yards per average. He's going to have a really good season. He's going to be in the top 10 players.
Is he a senior?
He is a senior.
Yeah, so he's aged
He's
out.
23 years old.
He's aged out, essentially.
Probably-
He's got to go to the NFL.
And that's the problem, is he actually played like 5 college seasons, but there was the COVID year, and then there was the question of his red shirt, which sucks that they didn't figure it out, and he missed the whole 2024 season. So
yeah, that's a good pick.
That's a flyer and just someone to watch there.
Yeah, flyer in the 4th from Wayjay.
Well,
Jackery Krosky Merritt. Ants, who do you got?
My guy is going to be a guy that AJ brought up, and I didn't think anyone was going to know about this guy. I think he could be a possible fifth round pick if the Cowboys haven't selected a running back, or even if the Cowboys had selected like a Travion Henderson and don't have Rico Dowdle. I don't mind a flyer on Damian Martinez, man.
Yes,
I like him out of the University of Miami. Some Damian Martinez, and as I seen him on your list, I was like, okay, I like it. I was watching some highlights on him today. This is where he's the Wayjay body rate. This is where he's off the Richter scale. No, this was gonna be my dude before I even seen AJ's nicely color coded draft here, and his charts here is nice. They're all greens, but again, the only thing that makes me nervous is, like, same with Cam Scadabo, is his breakaway rate of 15 plus yards. And I noticed this even when I was watching his highlights. It was like he'd have a fucking sick run, but he'd be tackled, after maybe 14 yards or 12 yards, or so he didn't have any of those really big NFL rushes that you'd like to see. But you can pair this guy with a speedster.
Yeah.
Right. So I think if you draft a guy like Damian Martinez in the 5th, and I do believe that the Cowboys should address running back way sooner than that.
Yeah.
We've all said in here, top 3 rounds. We want the Cowboys to draft someone top 3 rounds. But I'm not against double dipping. Ad talks about double dipping in the top few rounds. I think if you get a fast guy in the 2nd or 3rd, and then double dip with a 5th or 6th. I like me some Damian Martinez, man, and you guys are gonna like his draft buzz profile pick.
Oh,
Yes.
Ricky Williams action with that
That's what I
fucking
thought.
dreads?
With some Ricky Williams action going on for sure. And he's from the U, so he plays against good competition. Not the his stats don't jump out at you. He's got a nice 6.3 rush average, only 10 touchdowns, but those are probably all red zone touchdowns. And doesn't really catch the ball, but
And he's a Texas boy.
He's a Texas guy. So
Louisville, Texas.
I like 4.55 40, not great. Maybe increases that in his combine, but I don't hate it.
I think at this point in the draft, what we're talking about, day 3, I'm looking for that size. 6 foot 232. What else can we put on this guy? Not everyone's going to be that Derrick Henry with this size, but you put some more beef on him and just use him as that kind of fucking wrecking ball.
But that size is nice.
Yeah. No, it's really good.
232, that's juicy.
And again, with the breakaway speed with a heavier guy, it's like, okay.
It's a gimme.
I need to know more about what's he doing between the 5 to 14 yards then.
We didn't do this on any of the other guys. Give me one strength, one weakness from NFL Draft Buzz.
Hell yeah.
I always like the one strength, one weakness. Yeah. So scouting report strengths, bruising runner with excellent contact balance and power to break tackles consistently. Love it. I only need that. And
lacks elite top end speed. That's okay.
And we knew that. That's what AJ's chart tells us this.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, at this point in the draft, would you care? You got to kind of pick. Do you want speed or do you want body? And he's got the body. I don't really care about speed if that's what you're going for. But if you want speed, then yeah, don't go for Damian, unfortunately.
I know
but I like a big.
You like bruiser. A big boy. Yeah. I'm gonna go Ollie Gordon, the 3rd. That's my guy for this late rounder. I think AJ was saying he didn't like his stats, and we were talking about obviously 2024, the Oklahoma
regression.
Yeah, there's aggression. They won only 2 games, something like that. And then he brings out this guy who didn't even play in 2024. So the hate on Ollie Gordon is real with WayJ. But I mean, if you look at his 2023 season, like he was in 2023, people were projecting that he's going to go
and he was a Cowboy.
First round.
And he was a Cowboy.
Oklahoma Cowboy.
Oklahoma State Cowboys.
First. And I mean, I'm a little bit partial because Cowboys were my team when we played college football, even though I got schmacked with them. But OG3, I mean, 21 touchdowns in 2023. He had 13 touchdowns in 2024, only 880 yards. I think he has a skill set for a late round. Like, I'd say 4th round, we could grab him, but we don't have a 4th rounder. So 5th rounder above taking him, I wouldn't be mad.
You put that, so in a couple of, we've had Ollie Gordon selected in a mock draft, like one that we just did prior to our official ones that we've done. And everyone, like, I think we got him in the 6th round. Everyone's like, there's 0 chance Ollie Gordon's in the 6th round, but PFF doesn't love him right now. Also, Draft Buzz doesn't love him right now.
What is he even on your Richter scale there?
Oh yeah, he's right there.
Yeah,
Ollie Gordon.
He's 19th on Draft Buzz in 2022
on PFF.
So we'll give him the rank. Yeah, 21st, 20th.
Here's the thing.
He's only 21. He's only 21.
You both made a really good point about his season last year. All these stats are based off of 2024. So
correct.
Keep that in mind.
Lots of red in important areas here.
Lots of red in important areas. But if he's got a really shitty offensive line, that could be that could explain the breakaway rate. It doesn't explain the missed tackles forced rate.
True, because that's one-on-one.
That's just one-on-one. Does he make a miss? Whether he's 5 yards behind the line or 5 yards in front of the line. But he does have some good catching ability. So
let's get a look at him on some draft buzz.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's going to be the decision maker.
Well, and in 2023, I was saying to Anth, he was behind the 95th ranked offensive line for run blocking.
And it's OG2.
OG2.
Okay, but then why did he digress?
Well, that's what that's exactly what we said. I don't know.
He did have some off the field issues going into this season. Maybe he's hometown kid, Fort Worth, Texas.
He plays on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and now he's going to play on the Dallas Cowboys.
Love the size, love the age, just being a junior.
Like literally going into the college football season this year, he was ranked the first overall running back going into this season.
He's a big guy, so if he's got any hands on him to catch a football, that could be really something interesting to use.
Got Bessie hands on him though.
Let's look at we'll look at his comparisons, and then we'll go down to his strengths and weaknesses.
Love him
real quick here. So Brian Robinson Jr. great, Rashad White
really
great,
good,
and Trey Benson,
a guy that we loved last year.
Yeah.
So I like those comparisons.
Interestingly enough, though, he does not have a high similarity level to anyone. Like usually you'll see this in the 80s or high 80s, low 90s for the number one guy. That's interesting to me because it shows that he's got a unique combination of things, and it could be good, it could be bad.
Watch his 2023, and I get it, it's a highlight reel, but you'd see some stuff that's quite nice.
Here's an unfortunate thing is after these conversations, now I'll go and look at the guys that I'm just a stat-based dude.
Like, let me just read this real quick. Ollie Gordon, 2, burst onto the national scene in 2023, capturing the Doak Walker Award as the nation's top running back. The Oklahoma State product led the FBS in rushing yards with 1,732 yards and yards from scrimmage at 2,062, despite a slow start to the season. His rise saw him finish 7th in Heisman Trophy voting, the highest of any running back. So he balled out in 2023. So it's like, what happened? Was 2023 just this crazy thing that everything worked out good? Or did his team just absolutely suck? Like, I bet
who left the school is what I would
exactly.
want to know.
I bet you he wishes he would have went back in time and hit the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So we look at one strength, one weakness. Impressive blend of size, 6'1", 211, and speed. Which again, they up top they say he's 6'2", 225. So get your shit together, Draft Buzz.
Yeah.
But 6'2", 6'1", whatever, and his speed, 4'5", 40-yard dash makes him a threat to break long runs. I mean, we do want to see that, even though his breakout speed wasn't great. Shortcomings can be overly patient at times, occasionally delaying his path forward and allowing defenders to close, which can be addressed.
And also, it's not necessarily a negative. You look at guys like Le'Veon Bell or Barry Sanders, and they spent a good chunk of their time just waiting for a hole to open up.
Let it open.
It's different in the NFL when you're working with a O-line that just needs an extra half second to open up that hole for you, and they can do it. And so, to me, I know we only read the one weakness, not a major weakness, and I'm more interested in Ollie Gordon than I was.
Well, just a scouting report summary. Gordon has the makings of a bell cow back at the next level with the versatility to thrive in both zone and gap schemes. That's huge. Yeah. And a lot of people, like, I think a team's going to get a steal on him. I think they're going to be very fortunate that he didn't have a great 2024 season. So I think Ollie Gordon had, the Cowboys drafted him with the 5th, 6th, or 7th pick, the 7th somehow, or even the 5th somehow. And even if we had went running back earlier on in the draft, I still wouldn't be mad about it.
And we got we got 3 5th-round picks?
A boatload. We're heavy in the back end.
So whether or not we're trading some of those to get into a 4th rounder, which I can't see them doing, but maybe. I mean, we'll be screenshotting that if that happens, obviously.
Definitely.
And last, I just want to shout out some names we didn't mention, that we didn't talk about, but that I think they're going to be on the wages board anyways. Sure. But we all might agree. RJ Harvey is one of them.
Yep.
Brashard Smith. Fuck me.
Are these all guys that played this year? Or?
These are all guys that played this year.
AJ picked
Bashal Tootin? No, but like
I want him just for his name.
I basically broke him down by potential.
Right.
Like this guy is a tier 4 player, Bashal Tootin. But
great fucking name.
Jaquindale Jackson, Montrell Johnson Jr., and Raheem Sanders. All of those guys, I think, for my money, in the respective drafts, or in the respective rounds, during the draft, I'd be okay with going. But obviously, like we already talked about, within those first 3 rounds, if we don't have a running back and
I'll be so mad.
And a wide receiver,
I'll be so fucking
shit's gonna hit the fan.
agree with just double. Like I think top 3, just go running or go offense, all 3 picks.
Sure.
Unless someone completely falls to you.
Exactly.
Before we do the call out, I know we wanted to do this, but CanFan does as CanFan goes. Let's just see who's on the free agent running back market. Let's just see if there's any of these.
Anth was the one that had to go, and now he's calling it. Look at that.
When I get rolling, like food can wait. Okay.
While AJ's bringing that up, I just wanted to say this: Jenkins Gaming said we might not even have a second round pick. Rumor is Dallas is trading the second pick for Tyreek Hill.
I mean, I'd be fine with that. We're talking about wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, speed like that, you're getting a 1B at that time.
So these are our sorry.
I know. It's just your window has to be a little bit smaller. It's the haven't done Sunday service.
No,
for a while.
it's the way that these things. There we go. So we got. It's sorted by previous average value.
Wow, Nick Chubb was
Annual
only
value.
at 2.2 million average.
Yeah.
I mean, injury prone. So let's all agree here. Someone that you would like to take off of this list to help maybe take a little bit of stress off of having to draft a guy in the top 3 picks.
I'd still like to run it back with AJ Dillon. I just like his size, but he's
still young too.
He's still young, but he also didn't do much last year with his chance. And then Najee Harris is an obvious pick.
Yep.
I'm not touching anyone that's over 30.
No.
So the top 2 guys, Aaron Jones and Raheem Mostert, who still has some speed to him. Raheem Mostert, Aaron Jones had a very nice season with Minnesota, but I think Najee Harris is a pretty fun one to look at. And besides Nick Chubb and Najee Harris, I'm just not seeing anyone that's going to fix the problem that the Cowboys have at running back. They'd be a nice stopgap, but I don't think they're a solution.
What about either one of these 2 guys as just you're gonna draft a running back? Rico's walking because he's too expensive. Someone's paying him $10 million a year. How about either one of Javonte Williams or Alexander Madison for a number 2?
I still don't love it.
Just a number 2.
I know. I still don't love it. Because the guys that I would like to draft with dudes like that are still like a Trayvon Henderson or a Neal or even a Sampson. I would love any of those 3 dudes with a Najee Harris or an AJ Dillon.
So you'd say go a little bit more heavy with Harris and Dillon rather than settle for Williams and Madison.
And then go for one of those quicker, like a Trayvon Henderson would be fucking. If you told me we were going into the season with Najee Harris and Trayvon Henderson as our running backs, I would be pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be pretty happy.
Hopefully they sign one of those guys for 5 years so I can get a jersey.
I would also, right? I'd also love a Rico Dowdle and a Trayvon Henderson. That's what I would like. If we're not getting Ashton Genty, my pair is going to be Rico Dowdle and Trayvon Henderson. That's would be my pick. I would like to see.
Ad.
Well, hey, I would like Rico Dowdle, Trayvon Henderson, and Ollie Gordon the second.
Okay. Okay.
I still believe that we got to go 2 backs in this draft.
Nice.
That's just your boy. Zegama
Wait, Jay, what about you? We got to hear yours.
Oh, I said I'm down with Harris. And Dillon is my.
No, but you need what you're going into the season with.
Oh, what I go in the season with?
Like, what would be your Wade J body meter explosion?
Okay, it would be Caleb Johnson.
Okay.
And Najee Harris.
You just want a Johnson jersey so bad.
Oh, he wants a Johnson jersey. Son of a bitch.
Okay, well, we will
take number 66, Caleb Johnson. It's an ugly running back jersey, but you love it.
All right, we'll be back Wednesday night for the second official CanFan mock version. Mock draft version 2.0. Woo! That's Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow us on all social media at Cowboys CanFan. And
you know how we do.
Don't forget to crack him if you got him. We're back all fucking off season. And if you don't like or if you know somebody that doesn't like Cowboys CanFan, you go and tell them to go fuck themselves. Sorry, I was getting amped up. It's got all stumbly.
Hell yeah. Hey, it's your first time in studio in a while.
It has been, yeah.